Hello world, welcome to my video. Have you ever found yourself at the thought of how God is so mysterious? How will we ever truly understand Him and His ways if not for divine revelation? For this video, I'll be talking about what the Bible tells us about our mysterious God. By His will, He reveals to us some secrets through the Bible. Yet some secrets He chose to keep hidden from us for His divine purpose. To match this biblical topic, the programming topic for today will be about access modifiers in programming. Before we begin, if you're new to my video, I would like to mention that this is the Visual Studio 2022 Integrated Development Environment, where I will write and build my example console program for this video with C# 10. For starters, I have a Bible verse from the book of Colossians that I would like to share with you today. It will serve as the anchor for today's episode. Colossians chapter 1 verses 26 to 27 reads, "The mystery that has been kept hidden for ages and generations, but is now disclosed to the Lord's people. To them, God has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the glorious riches of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory." The mystery that has been kept hidden for ages and generation, but is now disclosed to the Lord's people. Keeping hidden, being disclosed. As a programmer in the object-oriented programming space, when I create objects, I often have to think about its accessibility level. Is there information within the object that is sensitive and is to be kept hidden? Or will there be high dependency on the object that I have to make it publicly accessible? This concept of setting accessibility to objects in programming is called access modifiers. There are a few levels of accessibility privileges you can set in .NET, but to keep things simple for today's video, I will introduce just two of these access modifiers, the public and private keywords. If you're interested to find out more, you are encouraged to take a look at Microsoft documentation of access modifiers. If you are new to the vocabulary, let me start off by offering an explanation to what the public and private keywords mean. If you set an object as public, it means that all objects within the program, even those belonging to different classes, can access the public object. If you set an object as private, it means only objects within the same class can access the private object. I will show you how this works next. So to save me some time, I've already done up the framework of today's demonstration, and I will just be filling in the pieces as I go. In this class you see, I have my messages set as private objects within the class. Next, in the same class, I have a method that I've set as public that would take the private messages of my choice to formulate a printout. As I type the name of the private message here, you can see the icon of a box with a lock. This shows you that this object is private to this class. To show you the difference between public and private, I have another method here set as private that will also be similar to the first method in function. Now, let me set up my execution lines. As I set up the object of my class outside of the class, you can see that I only have access to the method that I have set as public in the class. So if I want to turn on the other method in the class to access it from outside of the class, I would have to change the private keyword to public. And now you can see it as an option to select from my object in my execution line, which is outside of the class. Now let's build the program and run it. Let's look at what we have on the console screen. Zooming in on one of the examples I have, one very common mystery in life we find ourselves trying to crack is why is there still pain and suffering as followers of Jesus? And the secret to this mystery has been revealed to us through the Bible. The secret being, we should expect pain and suffering in our lives because God uses trials and tribulation to build our character and to give us hope for what is to come into eternity. I like to think of this revelation as God turning on the public setting to this knowledge for us. And there are other secrets that are kept hidden even from believers, private to only God alone. If we look at the other example I have, one of such secret is when the second coming of Jesus will come. For it is written in the Bible that no being on earth or in heaven knows when, only God knows. I like to think of this secrecy as God turning on the private setting to this knowledge. To summarize this video, we were introduced to what access modifiers are in programming, And we saw two examples, the public and private access and how they work. Drawing parallel to this, God as the creator of this universe controls what truths are revealed to his people and what truths are being kept hidden from his people, all in his sovereignty. Now, perhaps a following question might surface in your mind. If God is good, why would he not just reveal all things to his people? Why withhold any knowledge, information, or reasons to those he cares for? Well, I think it is precisely that because God is good, and in his compassionate nature, that he doesn't dump it all on his people. Can you imagine fitting the entire water body of this earth into a fish tank? The volume and pressure would just shatter the walls of the fish tank. God knows our limitation, and he doesn't give us what we are incapable to hold. With that, we have come to the end of the segment. I hope you have learned something from this video, be it programming or the Bible. Thanks for watching and hope to see you again next time. God bless.